Hey, what's going on? This is JT the AT, and I've been promising some videos, so I wanted to put some out there and test my new microphone, so I'm excited about that. And really, today, what I wanted to talk about is how I think. Not what I think, but how I think, because there's an important distinction there. And if you've been following my socials for a while, you know that I like to debate. And a lot of people like to get offended or they like to argue and really what I'm not trying to do is necessarily convince you of my opinion or prove you wrong. I'd really like to help you kind of think about all the different issues from a different perspective. Okay? And I know I don't always come across like that, and I'm sorry. I'm working on it. But that's really my goal. And it's because I've always argued with any kind of authority figure, not necessarily just to be spiteful, but because if someone tells me this is the way to do things or this is the best way, I'm going to question that. And I've always questioned it, and I always will. And after years and years of questioning everything that I could possibly can, and arguing on tons of different topics, it's really helped me refine my thoughts and speak more clearly on the issues that I'm really passionate about. And I think in this day and age, especially in the American culture, we are experiencing with the advancement of communications and social media, instead of people coming together, it's actually forcing people into these smaller subgroups where it really just becomes an echo chamber for all of your point of views. And people don't get exposed to conflicting point of views. They don't argue, they don't debate, and they don't learn how to debate. And I think that's really sad. I think it's really important that we discuss the issues that we're facing as a country, both social and political and economic. And I hope to bring to light a lot of the different controversies around these issues. And for me to do that, you have to understand that I'm not trying to prove anyone necessarily wrong, though I probably will. And I may be proven wrong myself. But really, what I'm trying to do is just bring the conversation into the normal discussion. Like, why can't we talk about politics? Why can't we talk about religion? Why is it such an issue that just like tears apart friendships and families and I just think that's so sad. So here's what I believe. I believe that all human interactions should be voluntary. I believe that if you initiate force or violence against people, that you are morally wrong. Now, in the cases of self-defense or things like that, obviously, I think that you have a right to initiate the violence if you're under immediate threat. Now, that's not a green light to invade Iran because we think that because they're yelling, they're threatening our country, or their government is, not even the people. Because they're not gonna threaten us. We live 10,000 miles away. It's not a big deal. But if someone threatens you personally, then yeah, you have a right to take that to whatever kind of law enforcement your community provides. Now, government does everything either by paying through things with taxation or through inflation by printing money. And both of those are stealing, okay? And you just can't get around that. Like, if you didn't have to pay taxes, would you? No, absolutely not. Or let's say you're a good social citizen and you want to pay taxes. You want the government to deal with roads. You want the government to deal with healthcare. You want the government to deal with all these problems, which I might add that it's pretty much proven that it is terrible at dealing with. But that said, if you can convince enough people to do that voluntarily, fine, do it. Run that system voluntarily, and that's everyone's contributing their part to society. But this imaginary social contract where everyone's supposed to donate money to the people in control, I mean, how is that any different than a monarchy, theocracy, dictatorship. It's not. There's no freedom in that. There's no voluntary action. It's run through coercion, theft, violence, or the threat of violence. And so, I accept that we live in a world that has governments, and they're not going to be gotten rid of overnight. The republic that America was founded on was a great experiment a step in the right direction, but we need to not be married to this idea that it's the best thing, because I'm sure back in the 1600s they were thinking, oh well, having a king is better than just barbarians killing us, right? It doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it's better, and over time we evolve. I believe that eventually we can reach a state where all interactions are voluntary and all coercive actions are punished. With that said, in our current system, we have a lot of government influence in a lot of different categories that affect our life. And I believe that it is our job to get government out of our life as much as possible. A lot of the social justice warriors out there, and I don't mean to say that in a derogatory term, because I believe in helping people. I believe that we should help those less fortunate. I happen to be one of those people right now who could use a little help, but I'm fighting my way. I'm fighting the good fight. But I don't think it should be done at the point of a gun, okay? I don't think government should be responsible for social welfare. I think that charities and churches and social groups and communities and neighborhoods should take this responsibility seriously, okay? When you say, well, the government will take care of that problem, right? You see there's thousands of homeless people in your city, and you say, well, the government will take care of it because I paid my taxes. Then you take no responsibility for it. You're just handing it off to some inefficient bureaucracy who's just going to waste your money and not get the job done as efficiently as it would be done if it were run with the profit loss system of entrepreneurship. Okay, yes, there will be, in any capitalist system, there's going to be injustice, there's going to be unfairness, but you're going to get the best result in the end, okay? Anytime you subsidize an industry or program, you're going to result in an inefficient process. Yes, it will get done, but it's going to be inefficient, wasteful, and probably a lot more costly in the long run, as we can see in basically every facet in which our government functions in our life today. I mean, where is it succeeding? What is the government good at? What? It's good at stealing money, printing money, destroying our currency, privatizing bank profits, socializing the costs, privatizing healthcare profits and socializing the costs, privatizing education costs and socializing the costs. Okay, how is that benefiting, the people? That's benefiting specific people who are well connected in government and working in the right industries that people want to see socialized. But unfortunately, what you get is that a small group of people make a shit ton of money and everyone else loses out. I'm going to talk about this more in future videos, but I wanted to introduce you to voluntaryism and the non-aggression principle. If you have any questions about this, there's some really good books. Do I have all the solutions? No. But the only way to get there is to start talking about it, okay? The only way to get there is to start brainstorming ideas, to start believing that there's something better than a violent, coercive government, which is what we have. So that's what I care about, and I look forward to sharing my thoughts with you in the future.